All right, hello. Welcome to Season 6, Episode 10, Country Life. This one definitely a bit more of a... I want to say plain, but I also don't want to say plain. Oh, this is pretty simple. This is a pretty simple Bob Ross painting, I feel like. I don't know. Nothing like too crazy is happening in this one. There's no mountain. There's no trees even, but... You know, not everything has to be crazy. Hey, Prack. How are you today? Alright, how's it going? I love filling. What are we filling? If I locked in, I could. This could be like a 20-minute painting. I still think the fastest painting I've done was like a 40-minute one. I was like locked in the whole time. Man, let me tell y'all something. So before I went live just now, I was like in a rabbit hole for like an hour just looking at stuff from like this YouTuber that I used to watch a shit ton back in the Let's Play era of YouTube. Back in those days. Somebody who used to exist a shit ton, who used to upload like so much, and he would kind of like vanish randomly for like over a year at a time, and then he'd come back. And I like randomly just like he came into my memory again, and I was like, oh yeah. And then I was just looking at his stuff for like an hour or so. But I don't know if anybody's had this bug on YouTube, because I guess I haven't like scrolled through like YouTube videos in a while, like on somebody's YouTube channel page. But I was having this issue where like when you're on somebody's channel page looking at just their upload videos, after scrolling down like 2 pages or so, it would just keep loading the same videos over and over. And I'm like, bruh, I can't even like use this function to do the thing it's supposed to do anymore. Maybe it's just bugged right now. But I was like, I want to use the thing to do the thing it's supposed to do, and it's not doing the thing it's supposed to do. So I don't know what more it wants from me at this point. I don't know. I should have done these like little dark blue specks first before I did all the white, but it doesn't really matter actually. I don't know. Do y'all have those times ever? You just like fall on YouTube or just like any kind of rabbit hole about something you used to engage with a lot of content of at some point in the past, and it pops into your memory and you're like, damn, that used to be a big thing. The same sort of thing does happen to me with, there is this one Twitch streamer who they kind of like vanish and come back like randomly. They'll stream like a shit ton and then they'll vanish for like a year or 2 years, and they'll come back, and then the cycle repeats. And this corner down here needs to be basically like pure white. I also did, I warmed up my voice before I started stream today. Cause like, I don't know, I feel like I need to like warm up my voice like every day. Which I normally don't, but like, I feel like oftentimes I'll end up having to like clear my throat constantly. Like, I really should just be into just doing more vocal warm-ups anyways. Like, I don't know if it's just like a me thing, or if like some people just like naturally like have to do it more or something than other people. Morning, G. How's it going? Lord help me, this pain has a cabin and a barn. Lord help me. In it, you know, I used in it as a Wordle guess the other night. I was like, bruh, I didn't think this counted as a word. I think I was trying to figure out like where one of the letters was going, and I like couldn't think of a word, and then I just typed in it, and then it worked. I was like, bruh, I didn't think in it counted as a word for Wordle standards. You did Bliney, and I was like, that wasn't supposed to be a word. There was one Wordle word a while back. I don't remember what it was, but it was a word that's like usually like a first name, like for a person, but like it counted as a word, and I was like, what? Like, names are not supposed to be Wordle words. And then it counted, but like supposedly I guess it was like blah 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 blah. Well, actually, it could be used this way. And I'm like, bruh. I'm like, bruh. I think that's pretty good for the sky, I think. Also, Prac, on this phone you gave me, how the fuck did you... I'm very surprised that you kept this case the whole time, because if I pull this phone out of my pocket, it's like a 90% chance the case just pops off. Like, I am surprised that you kept this case the entire time. But I guess for those who don't know, when Prac was over last weekend, he gave me his old phone, which is Pog, and a bag of coarse sea salt. Which that coarse sea salt actually goes pretty hard. So, Pog. Yo, perp. How are you today? It was degrading. It's a plant-based case, so it's for the environment. Oh shit, so I just like take it off and just like throw it into the yard and it'll be good for the environment. That will go hard if I did that. I've always, like, I think for my last like 3 phones, I've just always gone speaking cases. They've always done me good every time, so I'm like a speaking case stan. Because I'm like, well, if I get a speaking case, I know it's gonna be good. Did any of y'all see last night on Human Protractor's Twitch channel how they did a 6-player any percent relay? Any else? It was like, I think they went live at like midnight or like 11 to 12 last night. Skittle and I, we got home I was like, I'm gonna make food, and then I'm gonna shower because I really needed to shower. And then they went live, and I was like, well, shit. And then I sat down here and watched the entire thing, and then I showered at like 1 in the morning. He's in mountain time. If you're in mountain time, does that default you to living on a mountain? Like a Bob Ross mountain, if you may? Yeah, the plan is I do plan on playing a little bit of MM after this. I don't know if I'll do a run today or not, but I'm gonna at least play a little bit. I don't have like the desaturated brown that I want for this. I'll just use this tone, I guess. Yeah, I had no idea they were like hanging out or anything. That there was like they had organized a little meetup. I was like, oh, Thomas is live, cool. And there was like 6-player relay. I'm like, oh shit. Not what I was expecting. Seemed to be a fun time though. Imagine they all had a great time. It's a bit of black for this. There's a little Monka that they messed up the Gims in Great Bay Temple. That was a little tragic, but then they backed it up, so we chilled. Backed it up, aka just got Light Arrow vanilla. This one was awkward color palette moments because I don't have like this definitely calls for, you know, very specific tones, various browns and green mixtures that I don't have access to. What can you do? Just do your best. Alright, so what's the vibes for everyone today? Anything exciting planned? Skittles like, I want Osmos today for sure. So maybe that will happen. Or not. I don't know. The new car that my dad got, guess what? It came with problems. Where yesterday he said that it was leaking antifreeze. So I think he's right now. He's probably at the dealership right now, I guess, like getting that looked at or whatever. And I think he said like the reverse rear view camera just wasn't functioning. And I honestly thought the car just didn't have one. I just straight up thought the car didn't have one, which I personally, I don't really think I need the rear view camera. Like, it's nice. It's nice to have, I suppose, but I don't think it's a necessity for me personally. I guess like just all modern cars just have it these days. It's just like a thing that cars just have by default at this point. Yeah, we're weeding out all the car problems. That's like the previous car that my dad had before the deer incident. I forget what it was, but it's like when he got it. It was like, I forget if it was like the oil needed to be changed or something, but like it came on like a month after like he got the car or something. So I guess it was like after like any like warranty or whatever was up for it. And like, I forget whatever it was, but it was like it cost him like $600 to deal with it, and like he like called like the car dealership he got it from, and they were like, we can give you like $100 for her. And I think he was just, I don't know if he actually said it, but he was like, oh, go fuck yourself. I'm like, oh, damn. I think he was partially like, I feel like they probably knew that like that needed to be changed and they just didn't do it. It was like all that like should have been like done before like I was given the car. I'm like, yeah. Like you shouldn't be having to like get like a new car and then like, oops, a month later you have to do all these things for it. Like that should not be a thing. Because I hate cars. Cars are so annoying, but they're also so convenient to have. You love your back camera, use it all the time. I wonder how many people these days like learning to drive are like so reliant on like the rear view camera. I wonder like when you're doing like a car, like your driver's test these days, like do they like put you in a car that has the rear view camera, or if they do, would they like disable it or something to make sure you could like actually like look behind you properly without the camera doing it for you? I don't know. I got my license for all this newfangled technology. That's a definite. A little sip of water. Did you ever use those cable management hook things yet, Prac, that I gave you? So when I was cleaning my room out like 2 weeks ago, like y'all remember when I spent like 4 days or so cleaning this whole entire room out? I found this bag of like cable management like hook things. It was like a bunch of like Velcro straps and then like a little small like bracket thing that has like a little piece of plastic you peel off and then it's like sticky, and then it has like a little like hook that you can like clip a cable into. And so I am using that currently for my headphone cable and for my drawing tablet cable. So now my headphone cable doesn't drag on the floor anymore. It does cut off a bit of like a lot of like the length of the cord, because like before with my headphones, like I could like walk like to the door leading out of this room, but now I had to like take my headphones off. Like one thing that would bother me all the time would be like my headphone cable dragging on the floor and then my chair wheel like catching the headphone cable, like, and then having to deal with that. And then I was like, huh, I can just use this to have my headphone cable not drag on the floor anymore. And like, if I ever do want to like change the length, like I can always like unclip it and then just like adjust how much of it is clipped in place. So I'm happy with it so far. A little bit of cable management. I've like historically never been much of a cable management person. I've always just like done whatever. Like, all right, fuck it, just have everything go wherever. At this point, fuck it. I don't know. It can be partially tough when it's like, I don't know. I feel like, oh, I don't want to like get anything crazy going because it's like, oh, I feel like I'm, you know, I want to wait till I move someday, but who knows when that's gonna be. So, I don't know. But at least now the cables that like are out in the open, I guess, in my computer setup, like they're not as annoying anymore, thankfully. Not so bothersome. So that's good. Well, at least Prac, you can always still use them. Unless it despawned from your inventory. And it's like, butter, I need more. I need more cable management hooks. I'm honestly surprised for these cable management hooks that I bought like for probably like 10 bucks off eBay like 10 years ago. I'm surprised how good the adhesive is. Like it's actually sticking pretty good. I haven't had it like come loose or anything yet. So hopefully it just stays that way where it just keeps sticking. Also, you said you need Osmos today, but I'm settling for a baked potato. Is it a Wendy's baked potato? Or is it a G at home baked potato? Oh, also G, I meant to ask, since you got the new Wi-Fi mesh or router mesh, whatever it's called, setup going, like have you had any issues with your connection, or has it just been like chilling the whole time? I meant to inquire about that. I think we've had like 2 repo sessions since you got that set up, and I don't think you've had any issues, at least that I remember. But I don't know if, like, generally speaking, if it's been good the whole time. I have not heard. But I hope it's just been good. Big ask, having your internet connection just function properly. Pretty big task at hand, I know. Bruh. I was gonna say, if I mess this up for like the 3rd time in a row, okay. Actually, originally, when we got Skittles PC set up upstairs, I was going to just use like the power line adapter that I have, but it was not giving a good buffer bloat score. It was working, it was functional, but I was like, this is not ideal, especially if it's like, oh, for any gaming purposes, this is just gonna be annoying. But then we were able to get the old Ethernet cable going that I used to use in my bedroom upstairs years ago. So that crisis was averted, thankfully. Being able to just use an Ethernet cable that I had set up like 10 years ago. Because there's basically these like this really inconvenient area in our house where the cable like goes down to, and I went back there the other night before we got that all set up to try and find the Ethernet cable, and I just couldn't find it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just set up the Ethernet or the power line adapter. Amazing. Wow. Me and Panza for the 18 months. Mario Wumbe. How are you today? Yeah, imagine having to crawl into this really small area and it was all dusty and had spider webs in it and shit. And that's where I was trying to find this Ethernet cable and I couldn't find it, so I was like, fuck it. I'll just set up the power line adapter for Skittle. And then like I asked my dad like the next day or later that day, and then he was like, oh yeah, the Ethernet cable comes down on the other side. And I'm like, but I just had to check the other side and it was like right there. But I just like didn't bother checking, or I think we looked, but I just didn't see it. So I was like, rip. It's a big rip. The moral of the story is, use an Ethernet cable when possible. Send tweet. Hansa heard me talking about repo 5 minutes ago and was like, oh shit. Ranked repo. I think it's funny that we like, you know, ranked repo meme, but then there's like actually like a ranked repo mod, which I find funny. I think that goes kind of hard. There's like unironically a ranked mod. All right, barn time. You ready? This is a big barn. It's a big barn. I guess barns are pretty big usually, though. There was a bunch of posts by the little cabin thingy that I need to do still. Can't always go back though for that. Easy money. No problem. Oh, that little bit of overlap there. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful. Also, Prac. I'm like wanting to get a different cleanser for my face because I feel like I have the Cetaphil cleanser and I feel like it's just not doing the job. I'm like looking at this CeraVe one. Do we stand CeraVe in this household? I was kind of conflicted for a bit because I was using this app Yuka for a bit, where it basically just like you can scan products and it'll like tell you like oh, does this product have good ingredients in it or not? And I feel like for so many things, like it'll like be like, yep, this one random ingredient is considered a bad ingredient because like there's one that Skill and I were looking at last night that was like, because it has the possibility to cause some issue or something, but it's only ever been found in mice and this issue has never been recreated in humans. So it's like, okay. I think I remember like the CeraVe cleanser I was looking at, it said it had some like bad ingredient in it, but then I was like, I don't know. I don't know, like should I fully trust that app at this point? I don't know. I don't know, man. Nothing is perfect, but it's like if it works, it works. I don't know. Dealing with skincare stuff though is so annoying. Unless if you just have like, unless you're at the point where you're like, I know exactly what products to use, and they just are flawless for me. I feel like I should just get something though and not be so like picky about it, because I don't know. I feel like my skin hasn't been terrible, but I feel like it hasn't been like as good as it has been in the past. And I feel like I remember like in the past, I used to just like I didn't put so much thought into it. I just like would like look up things like, oh, people say this one's good. Okay, sure, let's get it. Maybe I just need to be. Maybe I need to not like. I don't know. Just chill out a bit. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. It's like, yeah, you want to be using stuff that's good. You don't want to be using like stuff that's like bad for you or whatever. But at the same time, at what point is it not worth the effort? If these products have so many good reviews and such, it's like, okay, well, surely they must be doing something good. Skincare is just a confusing world where there's no one size fits all routine or whatever. Where we at? 35 minutes into this painting. Making waves, chat. We're making waves on this painting. It's always just like impressive to me, even still, that like when Bob does his paintings, like he does it in like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay. But I know he's like working. Well, I guess I'm working off a reference too, so it's like, well, why does it take you 20 minutes? I'm not Bob though. I'm no Bob. Because that's not my name. So I can't be a Bob. I feel like that's also always just been like a challenge for me as an artist, just dealing with the whole like being fast thing. I feel like that's always been like just a thought in my mind where it's like, oh, am I fast enough? Am I going too slow all the time? How much of it is like speedrunner mindset leaking into other aspects of my life? It's just hard sometimes. Just feeling like I'm just doing art stuff. It's like, damn, I'm going so slow. I feel like I should be like done by now. And it's like, I wonder how many artists like struggle with that just mindset. It would be nice just to be easy and just be like, oh, just don't worry about it, but hard to sometimes not have those thoughts. I feel like a decent like little bit of it like it has to potentially be like a speedrunner mindset. Where it's like, yep, you must be doing everything quickly. Everything optimally, everything quickly. Exactly. Cause like the air vent in this room, it's on the ceiling, which I think is probably better for like just getting good airflow through the room. And it was closed. I closed it last night because it was getting cold in here. Like when the AC is going, it low-key gets pretty cold in here. It gets pretty cold in this room sometimes. When that shit's busting. All that cold air in here. When it's busting, what? I don't know why I said busting, but we're going with it, I guess. I remember even my manager at Quiznos. Like there was something specific that he would do, but like I think I remember like he would like tell me like, oh, if you do it this way, it's a lot faster. I feel like he had that speedrunner brain also low key, which went kind of hard. Just I don't know. Monthly shout out to the Quiznos manager. Big homie right there. That barn is a big homie. It really is. There's probably some homies in there right now, actually. If we were to step inside the barn. You guys ever see that movie Barnyard? And it became like a TV show? Who remembers that? I feel like that feels like such a... Like, in my mind, it feels like it should be one of those, like, niche movies. But then it's like, everyone I feel like knows of it. Like, it has that weird, like, kind of jankness to it, like, Over the Hedge. But I feel like a lot of people know about that movie, too. I don't even know if those movies are considered like good at all by today's standard. I guess it was in that era of like CG animation like probably becoming like easier to do or just like more popular. I guess after the boom of like Toy Story and Shrek. I think Toy Story, that was like the first like really like big, or at least the first like good like computer CG animated film that I'm aware of, at least. But I imagine after like those movies popping off, I'm sure that like got other studios to be like, oh well, they're doing it, we need to do that too. CG animation is the new thing. You did not like Barnyard? You did not like Over the Hedge? I have not seen those in probably since pre-2010, so I can't say I really remember, but... I mean, I feel it's likely I'd probably watch it and maybe like, damn, this movie probably kind of sucks these days. It's like replaying a 3D Sonic game you grew up with, and it's like, damn, this game actually is pretty bad. Unfortunately. I think something interesting also like that like era, like that early, like the mid 2000s era, late 2000s, probably early 2010s era too. Having that whole thing of like every movie and like TV show, like it felt like if it came out, it had to have like a DS game or like a GameCube game or like a Game Boy Advance game. Like every movie would just get made into a video game for some reason. And it's like, I'm sure most of those were just like probably total garbage. I'm gonna do all these with black, and then I guess we'll come back in with like light gray later. So please hold. The Transformers video game went hard though. It was total garbage, but it was perfect garbage. I like honestly don't remember playing any of those like TV show movies made it into video games. I don't remember really playing any of those ever. I was like, I know this game looks like shit and plays like shit, but that shit still went hard. I mean, like, did they even like really make many like actual like Transformers games, or was it all just like garbage? I feel like I remember when like the live action, like the first live action Transformers film like came out, when that was like super popular. I remember being at my friend's house and like we had like I think it was like a GameCube. I think it was a GameCube Transformers game that like I don't know if it was like super popular or whatnot, but I remember we were playing it. And back then we were probably like, yo, this shit's fire. I wonder if it's the same game. I don't remember like anything about it. And shouts out in that era, like Transformers was like popping the fuck off because of the live action films. Like that shit was so popular, I feel like back then. Oh my god, Megan Fox is so hot. She's still relevant. She existed all these days. Oh, these DS ones, I definitely never played those ones. There was one on the 360, I think that was well received, but it was a different type of game. It wasn't your vibe. Rip. She got her bag and dipped. It's so many actors like you like if you had like one popular role, it's like surely you could probably just like have your one singular popular role and then be like, all right, I'm good on that, and just be big chillin'. Obviously, I assume a lot of actors do it also because they like doing it. Like, damn, it makes you think about stuff like, I don't know, like how much money has like Macaulay Culkin, for example, like the main character in Home Alone, like how much money has he made off of like just the first movie over like the course of time? I'm sure you got like a shit ton of money for like just like the original like filming of it, but it's like, damn, how much in royalties has he made over like the last like 30 years? I wonder. I read some article a little bit back that was saying how some kid who was in the Titanic movie, he had like a singular like one line or two lines maybe, and I think like to this day like in royalties he gets like $200 a year or something like that. Like damn, I can only imagine how much like, you know, like a big name main character role would get if it's like, damn, some random kid getting like that much in royalties every year. Sheesh. The Transformers on DS gave very Superman 64 vibes. Ah, one of those games. One of those games, You know, it's funny for Superman 64, there was supposed to be, I think, like a PlayStation version also, but the N64 version was like so like shit that I'm pretty sure like that just made them like not do it. I forget like the full story behind it, but I know it's like there was supposed to be like more like actual levels, more of like an actual game going on with it, but then it just became what it is for whatever reason that I don't remember. Now it's crazy how like back then, like games like that just would release. Just like in such poorly broken states on like a big name console. The general standard has definitely gone up since N64. Except Pokemon gets the pass, apparently. I guess they're allowed to just release an unfinished looking game still, and it's okay. There's this one piece of my nail that I trimmed last night that's like apparently I missed and I'm only like just now noticing that it needs to be trimmed. This screenshot you sent, G, is like the smallest image ever. Them releasing like a Transformers, Autobots, and Decepticons game as like two different things makes me wonder if they just did like a Pokemon type thing where it's like the same game basically, but it's like there's slight alterations between the two. I'm like kind of surprised that like Pokemon still does like the dual release thing. Because my understanding was like the original reason as to why Pokemon did like dual releases anyways, like back in the day for like Pokemon like Red and Blue and such. I thought the whole idea was to try and sell the link cable. I think, unless that's just not true. But like now it's like not a factor anymore because online is the thing. Absolutely, you bet I got both. Feels good. Feels good. I'm biting at that part of my nail that was bothering me, AMA. You know, that's a habit I never had. I was never like a big nail biter. Like I never like would chew like on the nail itself. But I have like I still do it. That I'll like pick at like the skin like around my nails. I'll do that. I was never a nail biter. I never did that. Look, I'm kind of getting ready to call this one done. I don't know. I feel like I'm at just the nitpicking part of if I were to really change anything. There's not really too much to change in this one. So, yeah, I think I'll end the painting there. I think this one turned out pretty well for what it was. I am overall pretty happy with this one, I would say. Definitely like the main like grassy tones. Obviously I didn't have like the exact same tone because I feel like if I already used like just yellow, it would not work very well for this one. I probably should have like put in some more yellow indications here and there, but I think doing it with just the green I think was a perfectly fine decision also to make. But I will end the painting there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.